Hello everybody, hello world. I'm going to read a poem today by Roger Weaver. Usually I'd wear glasses, but I don't think I need glasses for this. I heard this poem for the first time 8 or 9 years ago. I've thought about it ever since. I wish I could write a poem as good as this. This is a poem by Roger Weaver. It's 4 lines long. It's called What the Azaleas Didn't Say. The price of passion, its intensity, the expense of brevity, the cost of roots, of never being able to walk away. I'm going to read it again. The price of passion, its intensity, the expense of brevity, the cost of roots, of never being able to walk away. This is one of those poems that can sit in the back of your head for a long time. It's just that good. And let me tell you why. You can just take a look at it and be engaged with it, think that it sounds fine. It's certainly an interesting thought. Then we kind of get into it a little bit deeper. It opens all kinds of doors to think about it, different ways to think about it. I just want to say a couple of things. The first 3 lines start with the word the, and then we say the price, the expense, and the cost. The price of passion, the expense of brevity, the cost of roots. Those are words that have to do with money, really. Price, expense, cost. Generally, when we're talking about this kind of thing, we're talking about money. So what costs money? What are we purchasing with this transaction? Passion has a price. Brevity has an expense. And roots have a cost. It's a very interesting idea that Weaver puts out in front here. And then we look at those words, what we're purchasing: passion, love, intense feeling, brevity, finiteness, things that don't last for a long time. There's an expense associated with that. And then roots, which is a little more of a complicated word because we're talking about maybe 2 different things. One is, because we're talking about azaleas, there's an actual root system for that plant. But also, if we're talking about kind of just us, we have roots, whether that be a family or a community. There is there was a TV series, Roots, about our family history, about where we are, where we find ourselves in a community. So we have a price, we have an expense, and we have a cost for emotions, and for finiteness, for shortness, and for roots, for community or family. Never being able to walk away. So the cost for the roots, for the community, is not being able to leave it. The expense for shortness is not being able to go anywhere. And the price for love, for passion, is not being able to leave, which is an interesting thought. And that's kind of interesting in itself. Because I think that is true, somewhat. The title of this poem is What the Azaleas Didn't Say. So azaleas are in the rhododendron family. They bloom for a couple weeks, April or May. They are native to this area of the country, Oregon. But they are all, you can find them in different places around the world. And if you eat the flowers and the leaves of the azaleas, if you eat enough of them, they're toxic and they will kill you. But I think that more than likely, the azaleas that we're talking about here with Roger Weaver poems has more to do with the poems of Du Fu, Chinese poet. To him, the azaleas were the thinking of home bush, which I think is probably more likely what we're dealing with, the thinking of home bush. And it's what the azaleas didn't say, because you can think of home wherever you are. You can have love wherever you are. You can have brevity wherever you are. And you put down roots wherever you go. So, anyway, this poem is complicated, enjoyable in that way. And was so glad I heard Roger Weaver deliver this poem on a number of occasions, and was always impressed every single time he did it. Sadly, he passed away. He was a longtime professor at Oregon State University, and you can find this poem and others in books that are available, but largely out of print. We'll see you next time.